Hello, shalom. I laying in the bed in the hotel room because it's like a Swedish weather today. It is cold to be here in Jerusalem. It is about 50 Fahrenheit degree. In the morning it was only 8 Celsius, and it's have been raining sometimes, but most is it only gray clouds. And this is the day uh, some countries celebrate Christmas. It's December 24 for us that live in the north of Europe. That's celebration. And in other countries is it December 25 tomorrow. And no one have been on my podcast. I recording my podcast on uh, what is the name? This with a cloud. I have said it before, and no one have been there and listened today so far. But I understand. I understand that you are busy to create this celebration. You that is following me, you maybe not believe in Christmas in a religious way, but you can believe in Christmas for to have friends and family together that day and have your own celebration. It doesn't need to be about Jesus' birth, but if you are into it and grow up with this Christmas is about Jesus' birth, uh, I don't, I can't change it in your brain, in your heart about it. For me, is it not like that anymore? I have been there, like you have been, that you are today, that December 24 or December 25, that it's about spending lots of money on gifts. To uh, It's like a circulation of money only. Is only to give a Christmas gift to someone, and then you get the Christmas gift back about the same amount of money. So it's just a change of money only, and it's because of these wise men come with the gifts. But I have told you before that the wise men didn't come into the stable and giving their gifts to Jesus as a little baby in the crib. That is a fairy tale. It's told of the Catholic Church, a Lutheran Church. It should be like that. Catholic and Lutheran Church was together in the past, and they are together today also, but more secretly. And we that live in Sweden from in old time, we were forced to be in a Lutheran church. There was no other churches than Lutheran church, and Lutheran church is almost the same as the Catholic church. It's not much different. And it is the same like the Islamic also, that they are not so very far from the Bible. The Quran is almost the same as the Bible. It's only how they interpret, and like Catholic Church took away lots of books. That there is more books written that is not included into the Bible, and then have coming new versions of the Bible also, and it they are different. Those versions of the Bible, they are different, and it's different when it comes to where in the countries they are. I am Swedish, so I can read a Swedish Bible, and it is not the same as the King James Bible is what I have read. That was my Bible, and then I check both the Swedish and the King James Bible, and they are not the same. This doesn't say the same thing. So it's very hard to know what to believe in when it comes to books. But you can always know it's true when you hear from God in the air, in the spirit. But the books can have been changed, and the library have been burned up with old books, so that it doesn't exist anymore. So that's a fragile thing. It is very sensitive because books can be burned up. But what you get into your brain from heaven, that's it can't be burned up if you not be very sick. I was frightened when the doctor thought I should die on the Christmas, in the Christmas, this day. I didn't remember, but it was this day. And when I have coming back from Africa, that I was so bad condition, so nothing helped me to take down a very high fever that I had, and they expected me to die on Christmas Day, and instead my mother come and talk to me, and I wake up and find and saw one angel in each of these four corners in the room, and they were they didn't look like we look like normal size like we have. They were up to the ceiling and almost bowed down because they were bigger than the corner of the room, and they were no color. They were in gray, so they were not in my dimension. They were out from this dimension. But I wake up next day in the morning. I wake up and all the fever have gone away from me. And the nurse, they be so surprised that I still were alive. And about 3 days later, they sent me home, and I was okay. since then. So it's kind of a special day today. And when I was talking, I was thinking yesterday that I should talk about this, about faith without work is dead. It says in many places in the Bible that faith, you say you have faith, but you don't act in faith, then you don't have the faith. It's dead. It's not living in you. So you can't. People say that many times they have faith, but when it comes to things that bother them and make them frightened and make the devil whisper in their ears to not do it, then they don't have the faith. You can say that you have faith, but you don't work in faith. So that was I talking about when my daughter called me on internet, on the Facebook Messenger on my computer. But now, when I'm recording this, she says she's going to call me today also. But I have closed the internet. I am on my surf tablet and recording, but it is not going immediately on the internet. And so my daughter, she would love to be with her father, and she never is with me on Christmas. And it doesn't matter anymore for me. And I asked her what Christmas gifts she have got for her father, because they should celebrate Christmas December 25, because her father's woman that he lived with, she is away and celebrate Christmas with her family, with her children. And so they wait for her to come back, and then they celebrate Christmas December 25 instead for December 24. And I asked her what she have got in Christmas gift, and that is before Christmas. She say, I have already got it. And she told me she have got a new telephone, one of those very fancy telephones that young people have. And then her father have bought a battery for her surf plate. And so that was very much money, and she don't count on me to give her fancy gifts, because I have not done it. That was in my belief already before I knew God, that this celebration of Christmas is only about gifts, to spend money. And I refused to do it, even if I had much money to could buy Christmas gift. I didn't do it. Only I bought Christmas gift, but that was only a very little money, and what they really need to get, and they could have get it another day also, but I gave it a Christmas gift, and not like chocolate to eat up as a gift. It was really something they needed to have for their ordinary life. So I have never been in that way, and now it is less. And my daughter want to have from Israel. She want the mud that you get from the Dead Sea, that is a black that you put on. And I say to her, I didn't get any scooter. They didn't had any scooter to rent out for me, so I can't walk around in the stores and look for this mud to buy for you. So I say I have the brand of the Dead Sea that I have in my bathroom here at the hotel. I say I have bought those things because I have paid for the room, and that means I have paid for the shampoo, the bath things. It's not for free, because it's not for free when you have rent room, and it's included in that. So I say that to my daughter. I collect, I save up all things that is in the bathroom, because I don't use some of those things that is in the bathroom. So I have started to take away those things to give my daughter when I come back to Sweden. And it is what it says from the Dead Seas, but it's not that mud. So I'm thinking I maybe can send the mud to her from Sweden and buy it on the internet to give her if she really wants it. But she is young, she has no wrinkles. She don't need that, but she wants it. So I will see if I do it. I think it's very expensive, so I don't want to buy those expensive things. And so it's about I'm coming back to this with to the fate. I have talking about that and haven't have talking about it many times. That it's not. It's only words that you say that you have faith when you don't act in faith. Some people here have act in faith because they have supported me with money to come to Israel. I have never could have done it without you. So you have act in faith because I think you never can be 100% sure that this is true if you have not experienced those things I'm talking about by yourself. Then you know it's 100% sure. So in that way, when you're sending me money to help me to come to Jerusalem, and you helped me to get this insurance I needed to have to come up on the airplane, and the airplane was extra cost because I have to change it to a later airplane, and then you supported me to could stay at that expensive hotel and wait for insurance to come through, and because it was about the same price to go with a taxi back home and then take the taxi back to the airport. So it was better to stay at the hotel and wait. And and you send me money, and it was a little special with this, with the insurance, this COVID-19 insurance, because it was too late to send the money for the insurance. But I sent in all the money I had on my bank account to the insurance, but it was not enough money. And one person sent me money after 12 o'clock. About 5 minutes past 12 did I pay the rest of the insurance and hope it fix it. And it did. So I come here to Israel. So it was, I love it because I never have had it in 22 years that like we are together about something. You and I, you that have sent me money to could do this. And that is really faith of you, of that you're sending me money but you don't really know if it's true. That I could have spent the money in another way for my own things that I want. But you know I am in Jerusalem because you send me the money. And you get the proof because I am here in Jerusalem, and you have seen some picture and you have heard people. Also I have recording this Sabbath feast at the hotel. I don't know if it was yesterday at the hotel again, because I didn't go down. I didn't want to go into the Sabbath elevator that take forever to come down. And I have bought me food from McDonald's that I had. The bad thing is that they take away food that you store in the refrigerator. This it's like a cold bar. It's nothing in it, but it's not a refrigerator. It's only cold, a little cold. And they took away my food. And I have work on a hotel. I have been cleaning hotels, and we were not allowed to open up the refrigerator if they have not left the hotel. But here they going in and threw the food away, because here they only eat warm food. But I told them, I like pizza cold. I almost prefer cold pizza than warm pizza, I said to them. And you threw away the pizza I had and other food. So I have to be here in the room when they come and cleaning, and tell them to not go into my refrigerator. So they take. I had bought yesterday a chicken burger at McDonald's and took it with me to the room, and I eat it today. And it was cold, but it was very tasty. And they could have going in here and threw my dinner away. So that is very different, a very wrong thinking of those here at the hotel because it's not theirs belonging. It's my belonging. And as long as I stay in this room, it's me that make the decision what will be here or not. And they have done that. They have taken away many things like counter that I should have kept for to have food in it or have water with me, a smaller bottle I had here for to bring me water when I'm walking outside, so I didn't need to take my big 1 liter counter. This was a half-liter, but they threw that away. It was not in the trash. It was in my room, but they saw it as trash. So it's a little different. So I have to sit here with a gun and hold the guard and watch what they are cleaning up and put in the trash of their own thinking. No, I don't use a gun. I only kidding with you. It was a joke. So I have asked for some assistance from heaven to a recording in this episode of the podcast, and I have forgotten what it was I was asking for them to talk to me about. But I think it was about this to act on your faith and not only say it. And when I was homeless and had no money, had nothing in the United States, I tried to sit outside churches first to ask for money, and the people come out from the church and they running away from me, and they always screaming, "I will pray for you," they say. But of course they didn't stop and ask my name or anything, and I know they are not going to pray about me. And sometimes I told these people, I say I have God with me. I work for God. I say to them, so you don't need to pray for me because I can pray to God by myself. I say that to them sometimes when I be angry. And so once I was in a church and put a paper. It was about women in the church, so I thought it was the right to do it, to put a paper out around where the women were sitting and told my situation. But they told me to go away from this conference they sit in and not come back. So this is, I have met so many bad things in the religion's name. It's very bad. It is very bad about religions. There is no love and there is no faith. They can give money to their family members, giving gift to family members, but never to a foreigner. No, I have never got really help from all religious groups I have been into, and I have talked about it, so I don't need to give you evidence or names like that, because I have said that in other episodes. But you should know that God see you and God hear you, and He know. I have been in these big fancy churches where the pastor, the bishop, those leaders, they got gifts from other members, and it's coming in money and gold watches and cars and boats from other churches when they have birthday. But I know it's going around, so next time it's the birthday for the church leader, he get the same things. It's going around to them, the top money. The money is not going to ordinary people. It's people that they know. They give away money to people they know will give back those money to the church. So it's only to be seen, for people to see them. Tonight we are going to have a giveaway evening, and then they give away to those people they know that give them so much money. They have already paid for what they get from this giveaway. It's not that they don't have any money. They have put in money into the church. And in the United States, is it that they write their name on the envelope where they have the money they give to the church. I have. It's a long time since I was in a church in the United States, so I don't remember what they say about how to give money, what the name is. To give away, offering, and alm is what people should do. To give away, and that is for the church. An offering is also for the church, and alm is to help other people. And it doesn't need to be money to help other people. There is much needs, like to get the information how to help themselves in that way. Like me, that when I was in the United States, I had no clue. I have never been in a church. This was the first time I was in a church. A real was in a church. I have been when I was child, but that was my parents and my father that put me there. But here I was in real need, and I didn't know what to ask for or pray for. So that was my first time, and that was not a good impression I got from the churches, those synagogues and all those religious things in the United States. They didn't help me for real. They gave me $10 sometimes. They gave me a little food to eat. They give me some pads when I was bleeding sometimes. But they didn't really help me in my need. And they never asked my what they could help me with. Sometimes they ask, "What can we help you with?" They say to me, and when I tell them what I needed to get help, they turn around and walk away, and I never get that help. So this is Christmas. I think about this with John Lennon. And so it's Christmas, and what have you done? But it doesn't need to be Africa. It doesn't need to be those really poor people. There is other needs that can be done. But you don't work in faith, so that's why you don't think in that way, because you don't see that, because you are inside your family, you are inside your church, but you don't see what's going around out there, what is the need. I was in churches in Portsmouth, Virginia, where people were standing and selling drugs and lean on the church walls. And there was small kids that was selling themselves to under 10 years old. They were selling their bodies. And the church didn't do anything. There was people that had a need of the church, and they were standing leaning on the church walls. Instead, those churches there in that area, they have fence. They had security guards standing outside to not let people into the church, and that is total wrong. Where is your faith? And when the September 11, 2001 come, and then it changed all the churches in the United States, and they start to get camera outside. You have to talk to the camera why you wanted to come into the church office, and and even in the church they put security guard after September 11, 2001. Before that, I could go in. They never asked before I went in what I should do in the church. But after that, they lost their faith. They lost their faith. The whole United States lost their faith. It's very sad. And then it's going worse and worse with the United States, with much killings, more than before. It started with September 11 because of no one trust, no one have faith in God, that God should protect that church. Instead, they have faith in cameras and security people and closed door. Was their faith. I was saying like that after September 11, and I come to a church, and then I have to call on the telephone, and the camera look at me, and they wondering what I should do. And sometimes when I come into the churches, the security guard was walking behind me, and look what I was doing. United States, you lost the faith in September 11, 2001, and then it's going worse. That is the spirit that is here. It was saying this. it was not me that say about this to lost the faith in 2001. It was a spirit here that say that. I should never have said that, but the spirit told me to say it. So I think we will see so much bad things going on in 2023. It's nothing that I want it to be, but as you don't accept me, and I am walking with the eyes of God. God see everything and hear everything you do to me in these 22 years, and there have no it have never been anyone that have really helped me and wanted to support me before. Now when I was going to Jerusalem, and that will be something reward for you very much, because they told you in the last episode, they told you that they are going to be like a secured wall around you, so bad things should not come into your the sphere you have around you. You are going to be safe here, whatever will happen. But I think 2023 will be very chaos. They're going to be killed. It's going to be the last year, and it's going to be the last day will show now. And it's what you have put in that will be shown now, because no one was there, because everyone thought it should be a man that should come to Jerusalem. I come with a flight to Jerusalem, but as a woman, but I was to that place with a bridge over between the Temple Mount and the Mount of Olives. It's where the bridge should be. That's the bridge people could have built in the spirit way, but they didn't. But I was there because that's where I should come. I go away in that area, and I come back in then that area, but as a woman, and everyone was waiting for a man to come. So I don't know what it will be in 2023, but what I have seen here in Jerusalem, am I very, very thankful for to coming back to Sweden again, because even if it's very bad in Sweden, is it much worse here in Jerusalem, in Israel? It's not the Holy Land anymore, if it ever have been, because God is talking about the nation and not the country. A nation is all those people that have faith in Him and work in faith of Him to help other people, to get the information, to see that someone walking very badly in the street and you not doing anything to help that person. Now I know it. That's why I understand why the car drive over me for 4 years ago. It was this target. We never know this before things happen, and I was very bad, and I got a scooter in Sweden to drive around with, So I didn't have to deal what I deal with in Jerusalem. That no one cared that I was disabled and walked very bad. And Israel, Jerusalem, say they have scooters for us to rent. And when I asked for a scooter, there were no, because they want us disabled to take a taxi all the time. They are thieves. There is thieves in this. Maybe it was a Holy Land once, but it's a land of thieves in Israel. And I'm going to talk more about these thieves in Israel when I'm back in Sweden, to be more safe to say it, what I want to say. But I dare to say it, that this country is not a holy land. It's a land full of thieves in the den. That's what it is. And it's bad to say Merry Christmas to you, and I don't want to say Merry Christmas. But I can say a good, blessed year to you that really are with me and help me on my way to do what I need to do for God and heaven and for this planet. But I, in some way, have failed to save this planet. But at least I have saved you that believe in this, what I have talked about, and that you believe that the spirits, my ancestors, have coming back and coming through and talk to us about what they see and hear and what's going on in the future. And they say that from the beginning, that I didn't realize that before, maybe today, that they say it was a gathering place in my home in Sweden, not in Jerusalem in a hotel room. So it's maybe more to do in Sweden. We will see. The time will tell, as always. So thank you for listening. God loves you and I love you also. Thank you for your support and help.